different chapter, different time of my career where honestly I have no pressure. I got no pressure whatsoever to look impressive, to do I don't know. I just don't have that pressure in my mind. I'm just enjoying it. Like I said, I'm gonna make that ring walk, take my time, take few baby steps and enjoy and let everything sink in, soak up the good energy. Because, it could be my last fight. So just enjoy the moment. And once I'm inside the ring, it's time to fight. I mean, we can't keep, saying it enough, us fighters. That's what we do. Fighters fight, and that's what I'm going to do. And it's just a different chapter, my man, and I'm just going to enjoy it.
All right. Now, Luis, it's no secret that you are trying to make history yourself. Andy made history for Mexico. You are trying to do the same by becoming the first Cuban to capture the heavyweight championship of the world. This fight is a title eliminator. How important is this fight for you to try to continue to once again challenge for the heavyweight championship of the world?
Todas las peleas para mí son importantes, pero esta es más importante ya que es la próxima que tengo ahora aquí para el domingo. Nada, esta es importante porque, como dije, nosotros, el ganador de nosotros tenemos la posibilidad de volver a pelear por título. Y esta es la oportunidad de ambos. Esa es la importancia. Para mí es algo grande ganar este combate.
No, all fights are important, but this one is especially important because the winner of this fight gets to hopefully.
You ever see HBO's Band of Soldiers?
To be the heavyweight champion of the world. So we know it's a stepping stone. So for me and him, it's one of the best fights or the most important fight that we have in our lifetime.
All right, Luis King Kong Ortiz, back to you, Andy. Andy, you did it once before capturing the heavyweight championship of the world. There is this question surrounding you from fans and the media. Can he do it again? What kind of statement are you looking to make against Luis Ortiz on Sunday night here in Los Angeles on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view?
Trying to make a big statement, not just for my family or the fans. I'm trying to make a statement for myself because losing all those titles that I've won on June 1st broke my heart, and this is another chance. Literally another chance for me to become a champion again, and I do not want to I don't want to lose this, So I want to take advantage of this full force and do my best because I want to become a champion again. I feel I need that WBC belt to have it in my collections because I felt like I won almost all the belts, so I need that WBC belt, and beating Luis Ortiz on September 4th is going to be another step closer to become champion. And like I said, God willing, we're going to get that victory and look through the future.
Luis Ortiz, it is...
Mucha preparación y que hemos tenido y ansioso porque llegue ese día.
I'm anxious for that day to come. I mean, we both can say whatever we want here, but we got to show it in the ring. It's just anxiety for a big fight, and we know what's at stake.
Luis Ortiz, as we get ready to let you go, your prediction for Sunday, September 4th against Andy Ruiz, and what are your final thoughts as we are merely days away until your heavyweight showdown?
Lo sigo retomando. Yo salgo a destruir mi contrario. De lo mío es ganar convincente.
Again, it's to destroy my opponent. That's what I want to do and win in a convincing fashion.
Well, he's saying the goal is to destroy his opponent. Andy, you're known as the destroyer. Your thoughts and your prediction for your clash against Luis Ortiz on Sunday night on pay-per-view?
I mean, that's what we're trying to do, trying to destroy each other, because at the end of the day, we both have the same dream. We still have he wants to make history, but like I said, I'm gonna have my hand raised up high, and I'm gonna be the one being victorious.
We got a great night of boxing coming your way on Sunday. Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz in our main event in the heavyweight division. Good luck to all 8 fighters, and we'll send it back to Kate and Sean at the desk.
Thank you, Ray. I think the most important question here has to be, what was shining more? Was it Andy Ruiz's shoes or his jewelry? Because, wow, was that impressive.
Both of them.
I hope you guys got a visual of those shoes at home. That was something.
Those are different, and it made him the same height as Luis Ortiz. Trust me, y'all, he's not as big as Luis Ortiz. It just looked like it today.
It faked it a little bit. What about the betting odds? I'm not a betting odds person, but I was surprised that it was Andy as considerable a favorite as he is.
No, I mean 43.
You think that's all based on age?
Yeah, I think it's based on age and also what they did in the last fights. I mean, you take a look at the fact that Luis Ortiz got knocked down twice in his last fight. You take a look at the fact that Andy Ruiz, he controlled his fight, his last fight, and then he's been a world champion. You know, so I think that the people making those bets, I think that they're looking at those factors as keys.
Did you used to see Andy around the wild card when you used to be around the wild card?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean he's a kid he's a kid in the chocolate factory. What I mean by that is he just loves the sport. He loves to compete, and that's what he's here to do. He's here to have fun.
Perfect. All right, we're going to let the fighters wrap up some pictures there, and we're going to come back in just a moment's time. We'll be back with more reaction for you in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Gillette presents the Gillette Labs.
Well, while they're on commercial break before the fighters face off, as we were talking about earlier, I like the pay-per-view. You know, I'm cool with it. It's too bad that we lost Rayo of Venezuela versus Jezreel Corrales. But I am interested in Abner Ramirez versus Miguel Flores, not because of an actual fight, but because I want to see how Abner Ramirez looks. And then we'll be able to somewhat kind of gauge where he goes next. For some reason, my gut feeling in my gut, I feel that they're going to really try to build up Abner Ramirez versus, they stopped it here. I feel they're going to try to build up Abner Ramirez versus Tank Davis. For some reason, I feel it. I feel it. It was already going to happen before. Cruz versus Eduardo Ramirez. I'm not feeling too much, honestly. It's a showcase fight, you know, for Cruz, and for a potential rematch possibly against Tank Davis, who is supposed to return in December. And then you have the main event, Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz, which is going to be a WBC eliminator, possibly not a WBC final eliminator, but don't be surprised if the winner of this fight, especially since it's happening on Fox, I think it's safe to say that the winner of Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz is going to go on to fight the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius, which is also going to be on Fox October the 15th. Also on pay-per-view. Doesn't that make sense? And don't be surprised if this is an eliminator, and meaning Ruiz versus Ortiz, and Wilder versus Helenius is also an eliminator. And therefore, when the winner of Luis Ortiz or Andy Ruiz Ortiz fights the winner of Wilder Helenius, it's going to be for an interim title, WBC interim. I think that's a safe bet, right? Now, predictions. Andy Ruiz is going to be the best overall skillful boxer that Luis Ortiz has ever fought. Now, depending on how you look at Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua, okay, here's the thing. If Luis Ortiz and Anthony Joshua were to happen when, you know, we thought it was going to happen, or were to happen, I would be picking Luis Ortiz to be winning on the cards until he gets his ass knocked out. Does that kind of make sense? Andy Ruiz has very fast hands. But Luis Ortiz, in my personal opinion, is going to be the best boxer, technician that Andy Ruiz has ever fought. I look at Luis Ortiz being a better technician, overall boxer. Now remember, this is just my opinion. Better overall technician boxer than Anthony Joshua. Just my opinion, man. You know? Let's go watch the face-offs and then we'll talk. Are they going to face the fighters off again? So they're really not going to show the face-offs. What's going on here? This is foolishness.
In one of the things, you know, that we heard Luis Ortiz say towards the end there when he said, you know, it's kind of the anxiety of fight week. We know what's at stake. How does a fighter feel this final kind of the few days before now fight night?
It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of excitement. It's a little bit of just really anticipation. We always want to be perfect, so there's that worry that we aren't going to be perfect. You know, sometimes there's the worry of what that other opponent can do to us. You know what I mean? So there's a number of emotions and thoughts that go through our mind. It's just really, and that's what separates boxing from anything else, where it's one-on-one. So we have to really just control all of those emotions, all of those thoughts, and bring them all together for one moment, 12-round fight. And I think both of these guys have to do nothing less than that in order to win this fight.
Question: if I managed to find you Andy Ruiz's shoes for fight night, would you wear them? If I managed to buy them for you?
No.
They will work with your suit. I know they will.
They won't. With what I got this weekend,
they
won't. No, they won't. So.
So another weekend.
Yeah, another weekend.
Right,
another
okay,
weekend.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
You're gonna buy them off of him, and then.
No, I was gonna buy you a new pair.
Oh, give me. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna get me his.
Why, you want his?
I mean,
we can ask.
I don't think we can find those anywhere else. So.
Well, don't forget to join us on Saturday for the weigh-in on FS2 at 5 p.m. Eastern. We have got a stacked day of action for you on Sunday, beginning at FS1 at 7 p.m. over to Fox then at 8 p.m. That is followed by our pay-per-view at 9 p.m. And to grab your front row seat to this heavyweight slugfest, you can buy now at foxsports.com/ppv, or you can buy it on the Fox Sports app as well, and you can watch it on any single screen you want. Well, they have said what they needed to say. And in 3 days' time, Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz will let their fist do the talking. We're going to bring you final thoughts when the Fox Sports PBC press conference returns. We'll be back in a sec.
That's what kind of pisses me off about when they do PBC on Fox events, because they don't use that time. A lot of times they don't interview the fighters at the end. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, we're just showing a press conference, okay, you know, but give us some exclusive content. You know, let the people who's never seen these fighters before listen to the fighters. You know, but it's looking like they're not going to do that. But if you didn't get a chance to see the face-off between both of the fighters, let's go back and watch it real quick. And once again, listen, if I were, okay, I guess it's time to give a prediction, right? Andy Ruiz is fast. We haven't seen Luis Ortiz fight a pressure fighter with fast hands, you know, a fighter like Andy Ruiz. But outside of Anthony Joshua, you know, and depending on how you look at that, can you say that Luis Ortiz is the better boxer, like the best boxer he has fought? That left hand, you know, ain't no joke. However, Luis Ortiz did have some issues with the Prince, Charles Martin, who was also on the undercard, by the way. He's going to be on the prelims. They're going to be starting at 7 p.m. I don't know, you know, but my gut, because we've seen Luis Ortiz, you know, take some tough shots from Charles Martin, get brutally stopped by Deontay Wilder. Do I feel that Andy Ruiz can stop him? And Andy Ruiz kind of did go life and death with Chris Arreola. We can't forget that. And I'm a Chris Arreola guy. Oh, I want to be a degenerate. And I want to pick Luis Ortiz. But I'm not. I'm picking Andy Ruiz. Sorry, got to play it safe. That's what I'm feeling in my heart and in my gut. And if Luis Ortiz loses, does he retire? I don't think he done, because when he loses the top 10 guys. I mean, top level guys. But at the same time, you know, we've been joking about his age, you know, but all jokes aside, you know, in boxing years, in the years that he's listed as, he's 43 years old, you dig? So, you know, like him, you know, having the issues he had with Charles Martin, it's like, okay, all right, bro. But until they come back, let's go watch the face-offs from earlier.
Down goes Corrales. It's over. That's a big beating on a barrage from Ortiz. Ortiz clearly still skilled and still with a lot of power.
What a fight! Unbelievable!
I am the real Ortiz, net heavyweight champion in the world.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, with a record of 33 wins, 2 losses, 28 wins coming by way of knockout, representing Camagüey, Cuba. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the top 10 ranked heavyweight, Luis King Kong Ortiz.
See, look, this is the shit I'm talking about. You know, see how it just ended all abruptly? They just, you know, about to go to some NASCAR shit. Let's see if they talk to the fighters. Let's see if they talk to the fighters.
Pay-per-view fight card for you coming up on Sunday night. 4 fights with Jose Valenzuela, the return of Abner, Isaac Cruz against Eduardo Ramirez, Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz throwing down in a Latin American heavyweight battle. It is a great night. Here you go. I've been talking about Andy Ruiz's diamond-encrusted shoes. The good news is we have asked him. He said he is willing to let them go. Yeah, you can have them. Fight night, Sunday. They're yours. We're going to put the spotlight on them. It's going to be shiny. It's going to be a whole thing. Are you with it?
Everyone knows that I'm not going to do that. Everyone knows that I'm...
You're too particular, huh?
I'm too particular, and it just doesn't match what I have.
But it matches everything. You put a diamond necklace on, you're matching.
Y'all know I'm not doing it. How about you do it?
Those are men's shoes. If we can find a female version, diamond shoes, count me in. I will do it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's been fun to be with you, Sean, again. Good to see you. We will see you on, what day? Saturday. Saturday, FS2.
Just read the
5 p.m. Eastern. No, I'm trying to make it sound like it's natural. That is for the weigh-in show. We'll be back for that. We will see you again very soon.
See what I mean? You know, like how they're not, like, what's the point of having, like, the show on FS1? You know, when you're not going to talk to the fighters. You know, like individuals, sit them down at the table. That's what ESPN does. I just, you know, I don't know. Even Showtime, you know, does it. But Fox has been doing this for a while. That's why I'm making a shit about it. Here, let's go back and finish watching the face-off. Then we're going to talk about the card. And then we still got another about 45 minutes left in the show.
And standing across the ring from him on Sunday night from the Crypto.com Arena here in Los Angeles, a man who made history at Madison Square Garden, becoming the first fighter of Mexican descent to capture the heavyweight championship of the world. On Sunday, he looks to get closer to going ahead and challenging for a world title.
Oh, yeah, this is when they had to start it over for Andy Ruiz.
Here's the first heavyweight world champion of Mexican heritage, Andy the Destroyer. So fluid, fast hands, that woke everybody up.
He's hurt.
Incredible Mexican Rocky. And Andy Ruiz has shocked the world.
That was a clinical destruction. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a record of 34 wins opposite 2 defeats. 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former unified heavyweight champion of the world from Imperial, California. Please welcome Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr.
Somebody said Luis Ortiz got Centrum Silver and Brute Old Spice.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event live on Sunday on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Andy Ruiz Jr. and Luis Ortiz, gentlemen, you can face off and look at one another in the final stare down. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz this Sunday on Fox Sports pay-per-view here in Los Angeles. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Greatly appreciate it as we will begin today's press conference. To begin the evening at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time, we have a...
So, yeah, those guys don't got no bad blood or anything. And as I'm looking at this press release, it doesn't say if Prince Charles Martin is... okay, so here's what it says. The pay-per-view telecast will begin at 9 p.m. Eastern and feature a stacked lineup of rising and accomplished stars in high-stakes matchup. In the co-main event, hard-hitting Isaac Pitbull Cruz will step in to take on fellow Mexican and veteran contender Eduardo Ramirez in the 12-round WBC lightweight title eliminator for Devin Haney's belt. In the co-main event, the action will also see the return of popular 3-division champion Abner in his first action in 3 years as he battles former title challenger Miguel Flores in a 10-round super featherweight attraction. Plus exciting rising star Jose Valenzuela duels with, it was a late replacement, Edwin de los Santos. Okay, so that's the main card. Now it says, prior to the pay-per-view, rising unbeaten super welterweight Joey Spencer will battle Mexican contender Kevin Salgado. Okay, beginning on PBC action on Fox Deportes. Leading into the Fox broadcast, undefeated top bantamweight contender Ruiz will take on Mike Planella on FS1 and Fox Deportes at 7 p.m. Eastern. But they just added Charles Martin to the card a couple of days ago. So let me go see if something's changed that he's been put on the card. I mean, if he's going to be televised or not. Let's see. So, okay. Charles Martin to fight a Devin Vargas. This is Charles Martin's first fight back since losing to Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view. You would think that if he fought on pay-per-view, they're going to televise him, right? He should have been on the card. It doesn't say if Charles Martin is going to be televised, though. Stacked Night of Boxing leads up to Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz heavyweight showdown topping Fox Sports. It doesn't say if it's going to be televised. The non-televised lineup will also include, how does that go? See, this is what pisses me off. You know, that even further, you know, tells fans that fight shouldn't be a pay-per-view. Because how do you go from Charles Martin fighting on pay-per-view, January the 1st, by the way, against Luis Ortiz, to fighting in a dark match? In a dark match? I'm looking at this email. It's a press release from PBC, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm reading some shit wrong. Am I missing something? Nope. And in this day and age, we should be able to watch the whole cards. You know, ESPN does it. Even The Zone, who's on my shit list, does it. PBC's been lacking in that. You know, they'll show us some fights on YouTube, you know, and for their pay-per-views leading in, but they don't show their whole cards. Like, bro, that's some bullshit. But anyway, let's talk about the card. Once again, I've purchased the pay-per-view earlier. You can follow me on Twitter. Also, at the top of the chat, if you're watching on YouTube, the links to my podcasts are available if you want more cleaner content. There are episodes that are podcast exclusives, and then there are episodes like this where I'll upload this because it's a media event, you know, and promotion for a fight. I'll edit these to podcast format and upload these as well. But let me know what you think about this before we have to move on to the next topic. For example, I want to show you that this pay-per-view is $74.99. You know, I know because I paid for it this morning. And look, I did it for you, the people. But yeah, this is me this morning purchasing the fight. Like $74.99.
Do not like this one bit.
Too many pay-per-views.
But we got to do it for the people. For the people. For the people.
Is that true? Charles Martin's fight is going to be on YouTube? I hope so. I hope so, man. You know, let's go check the PBC YouTube page, you know, so we can confirm that while we're here. Let's go check to see if they have a link up. They're usually good with getting their links up kind of early to let you know. See, nope, they don't have, all they have up is the weigh-in and the post-fight press conference link. I don't know, cuz. I don't know. $74.99 for this pay-per-view. But as I was saying before we wrap up, the fights that are meaningful. So once again, the pay-per-view is going to open with Jose Valenzuela versus Edwin Santos, who's a late replacement for Jezreel Corrales. Then it's going to go to the return of Abner Maris taking on Miguel Flores. And then Cruz versus Eduardo Ramirez. And then the main event, Andy Ruiz versus Luiz Ortiz. Abner Maris, 31-3-1, 15 KOs. He's been 35. Wait, I forgot how old he is, but he's been doing commentary for Showtime for a while, replacing Paulie Malignaggi. His last fight was against Leo Santa Cruz, a rematch that came far too late, in my opinion. That was in June of 2018. I remember reading an article where he was on his way to fighting Tank Davis, and he didn't pass a fight physical for his eye, and it was some dodgy news that basically he was trying to force the fight, and if it wasn't for his wife saving him, then he kind of would have probably went blind, something along those lines. Don't fully quote me, but that's kind of what happened from what I've read from the stories involving that. So I'm just hoping this is not a situation where he shouldn't be in there, because remember Errol Spence, he tried to fight Manny Pacquiao. He tried to get involved in that shit. It's like, bro, y'all need to take care of your bodies, like, for real, like, go blind. So his last fight, and was this the last time Leo Santa Cruz defended that belt? Let me go check. No, it was later on that year. Just like Leo Santa Cruz has to fight Lee Wood, and he hasn't defended that belt since February of 2019, which is ridiculous. The WBA belt at 126 pounds. Abner Maris' last fight was against Leo Santa Cruz in June of 2018. Damn, bro. I just hope that he's doing it right. I hope that he's doing it right. And not just forcing himself back, because that's a long ass layoff. And I hope that, he's not going to be fed to Tank Davis. I think he should just make a little bit of money and, get out of here. How old is Abner Maris? Let me check. 35, maybe? He's 36. He turns 37 November the 28th. Now, I don't consider being, that age in boxing old these days, with modern medicine and technology, but when you're in those smaller weight divisions, you are kind of old. A little, not old, but in like your twilight. He's approaching the twilight of his career, if that makes sense. But yeah, if I was to rate the card, the fight that I was interested in the most of the undercard fights, if I was to put them in order, number 1, Andy Ruiz, Luiz Ortiz. Number 2, it would have been Rayo Valenzuela versus Jezreel Corrales. Number 3, Abner Maris and Miguel Flores. Number 4, Isaac Cruz and Eduardo Ramirez. That's just a showcase fight to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not really feeling that joint. But nonetheless, we are going to be here covering the card, covering the fight on September the 4th. Remember, that is a Sunday. And I'm going to be doing live commentary with brief, legal, fair use highlights during the fight. So we like to make sure when we do our live fight commentary that we're not just doing the same shit. We're just sitting here just, and I'm doing scorecards and shit, Jezreel Corrales had some visa issues. That's what's going on with that. So take your time out, like the video, subscribe, and we're going to be moving on to the next topic.